I would recommend.
Was that just on video?
5 out of 5 stars. It was not.
Oh, okay, good. Because I said something that was pretty disgusting.
It was gross.
Be open about that stuff, but we gotta ease into it, and I'll do that by saying, "This is, Sadie and Shawn have no friends." Thank you so much for listening and subscribing. Make sure you spread the word about the show. I have exciting news. We have a sponsor announcement coming up, a new sponsor.
Oh my goodness, I bet people are just gonna throw a parade. They're gonna
Can
stop
you
everything they
believe
do.
it? Oh my gosh. So, if you would also like to be a sponsor of the show, all you have to do is just send me an email or a message. But there's not a lot of spots because it's such a short show. And so I'm not going to waste any more time. But I will say thank you to one of our sponsors, Cristiana Salon and Spa. Go in. I'm so excited, Shawn, for your butthole waxing. I am going to. I mean, it's going to have every element. It's gonna have a video crew. I think we should
No,
invite
it's
people
not.
who
I
listen.
didn't I didn't say that there could be video of that.
I'm spitballing some ideas about
Okay,
this.
turn down. Also turn down to the live studio audience.
Even if we just bring in we just bring in like 5 podcast subscribers or
Nope.
YouTube
The
subscribers.
only thing that I'm
Wait.
agreeing to is audio recordings only.
Okay,
So
so no,
basically,
like,
this is what it's gonna sound like. Let me give you a preview. This is what
can
you're
we
gonna get
take
to hear.
pictures?
It's gonna be like, no, audio recording only. In the room only. Colt is the husband of the owner
No.
of Cristiana Salon. He's the one that's gonna wax, and so it's gonna be me and Colt only with the recording device, and that's it. And it's
Yeah,
gonna
but
sound
how's
like
that
this.
any different than a typical Saturday night for
Shit.
you, Sean?
It's not.
Listen, here's what I wanna tell you. I would like to hear me out before you just shut it down. I would like to, much like many men do during childbirth, I would like to stand up at the top above where I listen, I frankly do not wanna see your beans and franks either, but I do wanna see the reaction on your face when you get it. And, so I would just petition to maybe do that and then,
Maybe this. Maybe this. Maybe
'kay.
I'll allow one camera on my face only.
Okay, good. Look at us. We are producing
All
a
right.
show.
So you were
Okay,
gonna
so
thank our
thank you.
sponsor at
Yes.
Cristiana Salon. They do much more than just wax my butthole for pranks on this podcast. They do way more. They make hair pretty and
Yeah,
faces
they
pretty.
do everything with hair with the best Aveda products. They're located in that shopping center by Shields. Go in and see them and be sure to use the code Sadie and Shawn have no friends for 10% off. And they do hair, they do nails, they do waxing. Dun, dun, dun. And I'm pretty excited about all of those things, as you should be. So go see them today. Shawn, do you have anything on your mind or should I just jump into
Well, I
something?
have 2 things on my mind.
Okay. Oh,
One of
go.
them also has to do with my butthole, and
Don't
that
say
is
anything that's gonna make
well,
Chris not want you in her
no, it
salon.
has nothing to do with Chris, except for the fact that her husband is also in my band, Colt, and our band plays this coming weekend, and we play a venue that we've played one other time,
Yeah.
and it's the only time in my life that I've ever experienced in this venue a
LSD.
bidet, a
Oh,
a
a
bidet. It
bidet.
has a bidet in the green room. So I have a couple of questions. Mostly, I wonder because the place is called the Aggie Theater. It's a club, and it's kind of a
It's cool.
grungy little rock and roll club
It's been
in
around
the
for,
middle
like,
of Fort
ever.
Collins. Yeah, it's been around
Yeah.
forever and ever. It's charming, but it's one of those older places, and so there's no way in hell that one day the owner of the Aggie was like, "We should put a bidet in the green room." You know what had to have happened? It was on
Somebody
some
didn't
artist.
wipe.
No. That's good problem solving, but no, that's not where I was going with that. I
Oh, okay.
if there was an artist that put it on their rider at some point, I guarantee it. Somebody played in there that
Oh,
was too big for the
okay.
Aggie, and the brown M&Ms thing is overdone, and so they said, "We need a bidet in the green room," and the Aggie did it. They
Okay,
put
but
it
can
in
I
there.
tell you something?
Who do you think it was?
I have a bidet.
Do you?
This girl right here, I got a
No
bidet and it
surprise.
was the best purchase.
Rich people thing.
Really? Shut up, Sean. You buy this bidet. I bought mine. It's not actually built into the toilet like those robot bidets where they're like
That's the one at the Aggie.
$12,000.
It's built in.
Really?
Mhm.
Holy crap. I bought my bidet off of Amazon and it was like 60, $70, and I will never go back to not using a bidet because here's the analogy I'm going to give you, and it may not be pretty, but I really want you to think about it. You spill some chocolate pudding on the floor, okay? And then you get a dry paper towel and you clean up. Is that really going to fully clean it up, or do you need some sort of moisture? Okay. So he's shaking his head yes in case you're not watching on the YouTube
I
channel
didn't
or
know you were
Facebook.
asking me. I thought you were, like, just,
No, I'm
like,
putting it out there.
rhetorically throwing,
So
yeah.
if I don't have a bidet, I feel like I feel gnarly. And so if I always in my purse, I have those wet wipes
Mhm.
because you got to use some moisture. If you're going to take anything home from today's episode of Sadie and Shawn, I'm Not Friends, it's you got to have the moisture back there, or else you're just walking around with hardened doo doo.
Okay, thank you for that. That's enough of that. Can we talk more about the actual physical bidet itself? The
Yeah.
one that you bought off of Amazon for 60 or $70, how's that, like, hooks to your toilet somehow?
Yeah, so I installed it and you have to hook it to a water line and you have to just it hooks onto your toilet and then you can choose what, the pressure of the water is
How does
and
it know
it's
where to
just
aim?
you kind of learn how to position yourself and you could have it like set where it's like this is going where it needs to go. You know what I mean? To
So
not
let me
get
tell you about the one
traffic.
at the Aggie Theater. It's one of the robot ones, so it's built into the toilet. The toilet is much like something you'd see on the Jetsons. You sit on the toilet, and on both sides are controls. And
So
on
it's like
one
a Star
side
Trek chair.
kinda, yeah. On one
Okay.
side are the controls for the water, on the other side are the controls for the dryer because it has a dryer too. And so
What?
the water
Mine doesn't have a
controls,
dryer.
and it's a warm dryer too, which is, let me tell you, it's a feeling that I never thought I needed before. But what you do is I didn't have to go, which was unfortunate. So I did it to a clean ass, but I had to try it out. So I tried it and it's got all the different pressures and it's got all that. But the most amazing thing about this bidet is
Yeah.
that you don't have to position yourself. You sit down and I don't know
It
if there's a
knows
laser
where
or
it's
something,
at?
and it is perfect aim.
No way.
It is perfect aim. I think it shot water up my ass without touching any skin.
It was
Perfect
like a
aim.
high-powered when you turn your hose onto that high-powered stream.
Yes. That part wasn't necessarily comfortable because I felt like it was filling me up, like there was not filling, like I felt like there was water getting inside of me that might not ever come out. So that was a little weird,
Oh,
but then I went to the turn the water off, I go to the other side, which is the dryer, and if you have a wet ass and then you get warm air blown on your wet ass,
uh-huh.
it is a feeling that I
Is
recommend to
it
all.
good? It
I
is?
I recommend to
Oh,
all.
I really want that. You know what? Let's put that on the lottery fantasy list, which is my favorite game to play if I win the lottery. And I think I could be sold on one of a fancier bidet. My only fear is the only reference that I have to those things is in like movies where things go wrong in a wacky situation
Mhm.
and you're like so I always look at those like really intricate toilets and I think that would have freaked me out a little bit, like I'm gonna break something or I'm gonna
I thought
have a setting wrong.
Yeah, I kinda thought that myself, but they wouldn't have known it. I guess they would have known it was somebody in the band because only our band was allowed in that room, but they wouldn't have known it was me. And you can't really I wasn't, like, beating on it. You push a button, it's like one of those massager chairs. You never know where you're gonna get, like, punched, but it's you that's gonna pay the price if you push the wrong button, not the toilet. The toilet is meant to have the buttons pushed.
Yeah.
If you accidentally push setting number 10, and that's the extra, like, whoosh, the
I have
extra,
an idea.
then that's on you because that's gonna hurt your butthole, and it's not gonna hurt the bidet. You wanna ease
Okay.
into it. You wanna start at, like, number 2 or number 3 so that it's like a mist, and then you
Yeah.
slowly ease into the
As if you go to full
very
stream like Shawn
fire
did.
hose. Yeah. If you go right to fire hose, it's like going to prison, and instead of letting the guy with the little peepee try you out first, you just go right to the
The baby arm.
yes.
You know what? We're so stupid and immature. But I'm excited we have another sponsor coming on. And so I feel like maybe some sponsors don't mind how immature we are because I feel like every episode we talk about your butthole.
We have been my butthole has been a topic of conversation a lot lately. Hopefully, we can get done with that here soon.
Okay, well, let's get done with it.
Hold on, I have
Oh,
one more thing to say about bidets because 'cause I'm not done.
okay. Hey, wait, I think I might be coming to your show.
Yeah, you're on a guest list. I randomly got a guest list the other day because I still, like,
Yeah, because
manage the
you A
band,
didn't
and
reach out to me, which is fucked up, and you
there's no
didn't reach
plus one
out.
on there, you know that? It's just you
Yeah,
by
no, it's
yourself.
just me. But I
You
think
know
my
what that tells
sister.
me?
What?
That you ain't coming.
No, that's not true. My sister's gonna get a ticket, and we're gonna go together, and
Why
you
isn't
are gonna
Ryan
have to.
coming? What does Ryan have against my band?
No, Ryan is gonna be in Iowa. Remember
Oh,
we
that's
had this
right.
conversation, like, weeks ago, and you clearly forgot. It's okay, whatever.
I
But, yeah,
forgot it's
he's gonna
Mother's
be
Day weekend.
gone, so I'm kinda like, "Alright, I'll go to this show." But, I'm pretty excited to see it, but do you think they would let me try this fancy bidet?
You're gonna have to act like you're a member of the band.
That's so dumb. Can't you just be like, "Come on, Sadie, try this
They're gonna
bidet."
think that you're my groupie, and I can't have those rumors going around town. Me escorting some woman to the backstage area doesn't look
I
good
don't
on
need
me.
you to escort me. Point me to the robot toilet, and I'm
They're not
pretty
gonna
sure
let you back there without a credential. We're a high profile band.
you're such a douche. You seriously are. I don't care. I'm gonna only come to your show not to hear your hits. I'm gonna come just to use that toilet, and I'm gonna tell you about it, and then I'm gonna walk out back to my car, and I'm gonna go home and be like, "I told you I could do it."
That's the
Um,
other part that I had to you are less I'm less open about just, like, telling people, "Oh, I just went and took a shit in that bathroom."
I'm
You're
not
more
gonna
open
do.
about
No,
that.
I'm not.
I almost felt the need when I used it the last time to, like, announce to everybody, I was just trying out the robot toilet. I did not poop in there. Like, I feel like I have to tell everybody that, which is a I don't
I
know, is it a
see, that
problem?
makes you open, not me. I don't walk out of the toilet and say, "Number 1, that was just a number 1." I don't have, like, a feeling.
Let me remind you of when we worked together at the radio station. You were very open, especially on times where we would spend hours over the course of a couple of days doing like charity radiothons. You
Yeah.
would be very open about what you were going to do when you would leave the studio.
Don't paint me as a monster. Somebody had to bring a little lightning to the day.
I am happy. My last thing that I was going to say about the bidet before you rudely interrupted me was that
Sorry.
I am happy that we've come to this point because I do remember one time my mom got into this fancy phase where she felt like she needed to show off to people. And so she
Oh.
didn't have a whole lot of money, but she rented like a mansion, a big old house, a huge house. And it, like in the 60s, it was probably like the cream of the crop in the neighborhood. Like it was the nicest house ever, but it had not been updated since 1960 something. And so she thought, man, I'm the coolest person ever because I'm going to rent this house. And it had a bidet in the bathroom, which was the first
Oh.
time I'd ever seen one. I didn't use it. That's why I said I used the Aggie one for the first time because this one was different. Back in the day, it was two separate toilets. So you had the toilet, and
Oh,
then
and then
next
you'd
to
have
the
to go over
toilet,
to another
yeah.
unit to clean
And so
you?
I'm happy that we got past that because there could have been some interesting shit that happened, pun intended, between the toilets.
Yeah, I mean, how far away is the one toilet from the cleaning
I
toilet?
mean, they're a
And how
little
many toilets as a woman do we want to clean?
that's true too.
Poor man. Go ahead.
That no, I'm just all I wanted to say was I'm happy that technology's come to the point where the bidet is hooked to the toilet and you don't have to get your poopy ass up off the toilet to go to another toilet to clean.
Amen. Okay, so listen to um something that happened this week that I do like, and I know I don't want to sound like a douchey, but
You
I
already
do like
do.
the Met Gala. And you may be saying, if you're just not into this kind of stuff at all, you may say, "What is the Met Gala?" And it is the most pompous night in America. It's my
Mhm.
favorite thing to watch. and I love it, and, if you don't know what it is, it's an invite-only event benefiting the Metropolitan Museum of Arts of Costume Arts, and it's invite only, and you have to dress in a theme, and Shawn, this theme this year was the Garden of Time.
I don't even know what that is. I wouldn't know how to dress in that. I would just go with garden, and I would skip the part that says time, and I would probably wear flowers.
That's what I was thinking. I feel like I could make a potato sack outfit and just glue some like leaves on it. And then maybe have like a time watch, one of those old fashioned ones that I could swing around.
Sounds like something from, what was that movie?
I
Where
don't
the
know.
cat had the time watch that he
I
swing.
don't know. I
And
don't
all I
know.
can think of too is Flavor Flav. He would probably do really well at an event like this.
Yeah, but Flavor Flav would never be invited because it is only like the cream of the crop that are going, and they wear the most ridiculous thing. Like, for instance, and again, if you're just listening, I will explain, but if you're watching, you're going to be able to see the pictures because they're so stupid. They're so stupid. People wear the dumbest things. Kim Kardashian, she wore a dress that I actually liked, but it was so tight that she did an interview before, and she might have organ damage because she pulled the corset they had to fit her in. And so if you look at the picture posted, look at how tiny her waist is. That is like unnaturally tiny. Also tiny.
Where does it go? I've never put a corset
Oh
on.
my god.
Where
Well,
did it
first of
pushes it
all,
somewhere else?
I think well, here's the next thing about the story. I think she popped like some biscuits halfway through the night because randomly she was wearing a cardigan over this beautiful intricate gown. And I'm like, uh-oh. I think she popped like a biscuit and her titty fell out. And because she was making extra sure again, if you're watching, we'll play the clip of her walking all of a sudden with this granny shirt, but she's covering one boob, like making sure she holds it in a fashionable way. And I'm like, I think she popped like some biscuits. You can't cinch your waist that tight. It's so unhealthy and it is so bad for you. And Shawn, do you have anything to say also about your thoughts on the Met Gala?
Well, I do have questions about it because I don't really necessarily understand what it's for other than rich people, famous people getting together, but I
Yeah.
did read yesterday that it costs 70 it is invite only, but you still have to pay to go, $75,000 a person.
Yeah. And what's crazy is you watch these even if you have no interest in fashion or anything, you watch these people dress so stupid,
Yeah,
and
but what
it's
is
my
it?
favorite. It's
You see them all walk the red carpet, but once they go inside, what happens?
I think that they sit down in tables, and I think that there are different art exhibits, like, this is, like, not even in the same vein, but I once went to a Britney Spears show in Las Vegas, and, like, waiting before they opened the doors, they had, like, an exhibit of all of her clothes that she wore in, like, music videos and stuff, which
Mm.
is pretty amazing, and, also, they were only selling, Fireball. That's it. You had to drink Fireball. There's no water, there was nothing. So we just drank Fireball all night. It was a
Ugh,
deadly combo, but,
yeah.
I think that you go in and then you can walk around, and I also think a
Do
lot of
you eat?
people not Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, that's true. She would not be able well, maybe she did eat, and maybe that's where the
She had
cardigan came
1
in.
grape,
She was
her
like, "Hold
ass would
on,
pop out.
let me, loosen this up so that I can have this piece of chicken."
Now I wear a bra, and I wouldn't even say it's a good quality bra, the one I'm wearing right now. This is probably a TJ Maxx special, and I gotta say, when I take it off at the end of the day, it's like heaven's doors have opened and I am free. And so I can't imagine at the end of the night taking some of these dresses like hers off. It's crazy. But that's Hollywood.
Do
Hollywood
they
is
have,
so
like
weird.
a concert in there or something?
No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe that I don't know. I've
For
never gotten a ticket.
$75,000, Elvis Presley better show up and give me an autograph. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
come
that's
on.
just you and me normal people thinking. You have to think like the fancy people where they $75,000, they're going to get so much press off of like these photos and so much. I mean, I think that's why people. I bet you it's straight to a back door. Maybe there's nothing inside of this giant room and they walk the stairs in and they go out and walk the stairs to their car. First of all, that's my dream event.
Yeah,
Second
right.
of all, just the same car could just do a circle around the block. I'd walk, 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 and then I'd walk in. I'd already unhooked my bra on the way out the door. And it would just be because I think people do it for the publicity.
Well,
The
that sounds
end.
stupid.
Yeah, I
When I
know.
get rich and famous, I'm not going to the Met Gala.
I don't think I would want to go either. I think it is so pretentious.
Well,
Like it's
that's just
insane.
it too. What are you gonna do once you're in there? Like, you don't know everybody. Even
I
if you're
want to
Kim
talk.
Kardashian and you see Ellen across the room and you've never met Ellen before, you're gonna go up to Ellen and be like, "Hey, I'm Kim. It's nice
No,
to
because
meet
I
you."
heard she's a monster in real life. So
Which
I would
one?
steer clear of Ellen
Oh,
DeGeneres or whatever. I'd steer clear of her. She's a shifty one. But like I'm trying to think, is there a
who are you gonna talk
celebrity?
to? I'm not gonna talk to anybody. I'm not gonna go up to somebody and be like, "Hey, I'm Sean. I'm that guy from that podcast. Who are you?" And they're gonna be like, "I'm Tom Cruise. I was in a couple of movies."
How good is your podcast? How many followers do you have? And have you ever looked into Scientology?
That's how
That's
I
what
get
Tom would
that's
say.
how I get talked into something stupid like that. Tom
I was
Cruise
gonna
would be
say
able to do it.
you are the worst. You can never get rich and have money and be famous because out of again just your fear of confrontation, I bet you'd become a Scientologist.
I don't even know what Scientologist is, but I know that it's not good.
Sean. Okay,
Oh,
well,
can
let
I tell
me
you about Scientologists? This is a whole different story.
sure.
So
Yeah.
one time, I was going to a Rockies game with a buddy, and
Okay. Your
and
stories are my favorite.
I wanted to park somewhere close to the ballpark because I didn't feel like walking, and there was this one all the lots around that are really close are like 40 or $50 to park your freaking car, and I just can't
Yeah.
bring myself to paying that much money to park your car, and so I go around, I make one turn, and it's like, not even very far from the $50 lot. There's one there that's $10. I was like, "I'm in, it's my lucky day," and there's room, so I go in, and they were like, "Hey, so
I
this is a."
don't like these rims anyway.
Yeah, right. This is a special lot,
Yeah.
and if you park in this parking lot, we have to get your information. Yes, it's only $10, and it's not even $10 for profit. It's a $10 donation to the Church of Scientology, and you have to sign up. You have to not sign up to be a part of the church, but you have to sign up to get, like, their newsletters and stuff, and so I was like, "For $10, I'm not paying 50, I'll do it," but I'm smart, and I'm not gonna put down my real address or my real phone number, but I'm not that smart, so I didn't just make up an address or a phone number. I used one that I just had in my mind, which was the radio stations, and I still use my real name. So, I started getting all kinds of mail from the Church of Scientology to the radio station to me, and so all the people that I work with definitely thought that I was a weirdo Scientologist, especially the mail lady.
The
That's my
mail lady's
story.
like, "Wow." Do they pelt you with that much
Oh, it
stuff?
was so much stuff, and how do you unsubscribe? It's not like an email where you can go and you can
Oh,
unsubscribe, like, "I don't want
shoot,
any
you're
more of your
stuck
emails." Yeah,
forever.
I bet they're still getting my Scientologist mail at that radio station.
Scientology is such a strange animal because it's so weird.
Hear the secret doctrine, you have to be in the church for several years, Stan. Are you ready to hear the truth?
I guess.
You see, Stan, there is a reason for people feeling sad and depressed. An alien reason. It all began 75 million years ago. Back then, there was a galactic federation of planets, which was ruled over by the evil Lord Zenu.
But isn't every religion there are aspects that are really weird if you think about it? So the idea of a man looking into a hat and someone saying to him, "You should start a church," and at least that's what I saw in a South Park episode. But that's
I
and
really don't know anything about it. I don't know a damn thing about Scientology, not anything.
it's really weird. It's very culty. You should watch this show. It's got Leah Remini where she was a Scientologist for years while she was on King of Queens. She was like a hardcore Scientologist and she talks about what it's like being in the church. First of all, unless you were on Tom Cruise's level or John Travolta's level,
Mhm.
you are not going to be treated as well. It's a money game and the more money you can
Oh,
pay, the higher up in the levels that you're gonna go in the church, but they do all kinds of wacky shit like because I read her book, you have to, like, hang on to these, like, joysticks, and it measures your energy level or something, and the energy level, you need to pay more because you need to be more enlightened.
yeah.
Don't do this, Shawn. God dang it.
Only
Shannon
if
and
I
I
get
are
to
gonna have to
be
pull up in a van and throw you in and
I mean, I'm not just gonna go and just hang out with randos. The only way I'm going to Scientologist church is to hang out with Tom Cruise.
okay,
So
so
if I don't get to hang out with him,
if
I'm out.
Tom Cruise came to you and was like, "Shawn, I've heard this podcast. You're both incredibly charming, but Sadie has already turned me down. So I'm coming to you second, which is fine. There's no shame in that, but I'm coming to you second. If you join Scientology, you're in my clique. So when we go to Aspen to my $1 trillion ranch, I want you there, Shawn. I want you and your band playing there. If
Well,
we
now it's turning into work.
Okay,
Can
so
I just hang out with Tom Cruise?
Okay. So for some reason they want you in the church desperately. Just stick with my fake story. And they just Tom Cruise calls you personally. Is like, "Shawn, I swear, Shawn, you would cave. You would become a
Oh,
Scientologist.
yes,
I
I
feel
would,
it."
and you would too. Eh,
No, I wouldn't.
if
No, I
Tom Cruise
wouldn't.
called you and
I
was
don't
like, "You can
care.
come hang out in my $50 million mansion in Aspen.
And you
All
just
you
have to
gotta do is
change
sign this paper.
religions.
All you gotta do is sign this paper and say that you're part of my cult." You're gonna be like, "Ryan, I mean, it's a weekend at Tom Cruise's place in Aspen. You
No.
only live once. Sign the fucking paper."
Shawn, this is
And then
why I
you can drop
question when I
you're not
message
signing.
you and you say,
No,
"I'm at church all night." I
no,
say, "But now you're saying you would, because you have to turn your back."
hold on. No, I don't. I don't have no one knows that I'm not lying. I can still have my own beliefs and I can still go to my own church. All I have to do is sign Tom Cruise's stupid paper so I can hang out with him. And in his mind, I'm part of his clique.
That's my best friend. She a real bad bitch.
He's not going to watch me 24/7 to make sure that I'm doing the right things. I just want to hang out with him
Yes,
one
they
weekend.
will though. If you're again on Tom Cruise's level like Leah Remini, she talks about how and she has this show where she interviews people who have is it like called defected from the church and they get followed, they get stalked, they get I mean, it's
How
like
do you be one of
weird.
the stalkers?
You like try to intimidate people.
How do you be one of them?
A Scientologist stalker? That'd probably be your job because why does Tom Cruise want you to hang around? No one
I
knows.
would be
Maybe
terrible at that job. So he's hiring the wrong guy.
he's like, Shawn, thanks for coming to Aspen this weekend. Go break this guy's legs and tell him to jump back into Scientology. And Sean's like, oh, see, that's why you don't sell your soul, buddy. You don't become a Scientologist. I also read the book. Um, the head guy at Scientology and his niece wrote a book because she was raised in Scientology
Mhm.
because her uncle was the big guy. He was like number one. He's higher than Tom Cruise, and she talks about it, and it's awful. It's messed up. It's
I'm gonna have
messed
to
up,
go check all
Shawn.
this stuff out. I actually almost meant to because this last summer, Shannon and I went to LA and we were on Hollywood Boulevard just spending the day looking for a place to go to lunch and looking for some things to do. And if you get away from the main portion of Hollywood
Yeah,
Boulevard where like the Oriental Theater is and all the like famous stuff, it gets a little bit shady on some of the like you're gonna go look at the stars and see who you can find that you know, but there's some shady shops and shady stuff. And
you're like
the
Bob Barker is 6 stars ahead, but
yeah.
that's the start of Skid Row.
It's not far off.
No,
Eh,
it is. Yeah, I've been there before, and it is very scary.
but what I found was I found the museum, which is where the Church of Scientology started. It's right
Really, the
there.
little
It's
one?
right on. No, it's a building right on Hollywood Boulevard. It's not a church, it's a building right on Hollywood Boulevard, and they've turned it into a museum. And then
Okay,
there's, like, people
because
outside, they're like, "You wanna come in? You wanna come in?" It's almost like Vegas where they got those porno cards and they're like, "Take one, take
Sean
one."
takes the Scientology
I
card,
did
and he's
not
like,
take one.
"What? No boobies? How dare you waste my time?" Yeah, I think it's a trip. I think it's scary. Sean, I'm gonna keep an eye out for you because I do know if John Travolta was like, "Sean, get on my plane and let's go hang out together," you would walk off of that airplane and you'd be like, "I'm a Scientologist, everybody. I just feel it and I don't wanna have to kidnap you."
Probably John Travolta more than Tom Cruise, actually, because I think Dirty Dancing is a better movie than Top Gun.
Oh, really? Well, the bad news about that is he wasn't in Dirty Dancing,
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
that was
Patrick
Patrick
Swayze.
Swayze. I meant
So,
Grease. Grease and
Sean,
Dirty Dancing, they're like the same movie. I get them mixed up sometimes.
they are incredibly different films. What is
No, they're pretty much the same.
Thank you so much for listening today to the newest episode of Sadie and Shawn Have No Friends. We sure have fun our 30 minutes a day together, and we've got some fun stuff coming up. So please be
Like
sure.
more commercials.
I
Woo!
also well, but we don't have a lot of spots. We had to sell out, and we needed it, and so that's what we
You
did.
needed it.
But I needed it. Are you kidding? But I will say that I'm very excited to announce that. Also, I put on our social media page, I put a question out there because we are going to be discussing the Tom Brady roast coming up.
I haven't
And
watched it yet.
yeah, Sean has to watch it. And then we're going to be having clips of our favorite parts because it was savage, but it was delicious. So I put on social media the question, did you see it, and what was the most savage joke? What was the one that gotcha? Because there were some good ones on there. We'll
Well,
be
yeah,
discussing
let's
that
give
later.
everybody homework, not even just answering the question. Like, you need to watch it. You
Sean,
need to watch because I have to watch it. You need to watch it so that way when we talk about it, you know what we're talking about. Sorry for
or if
interrupting
you
you,
don't
Sadie.
wanna watch it,
No, you have
I
to
don't
watch
give a
it.
shit
No,
what you
watch it.
do.
Watch it. You have to. It's homework.
Okay, watch the show. It's on Netflix, and, let us know what you think. Because no, even if you don't like Tom Brady, it is delightful. They take shots about the jujitsu dude that totally stole Giselle away from Tom Brady, like, oh, it was just so good.
I heard there was nothing off limits. Like they went into everything
Oh,
from his
they went
cheating
in deep.
scandals. Yeah.
It
And
was
Peyton
del
Manning was on there who I would let convert me to Scientology. And so he's gonna alone make me watch. I love
Have
me
you
some
even
Peyton
discussed
Manning.
this lifestyle with Shannon, like how close you are to jumping off of and going to Scientology?
I'm not close at all.
Okay.
It would take Tom Cruise or Peyton Manning to convert me, which is not gonna happen, so we're safe.
Peyton Manning's not a Scientologist, is
Yeah, I'm
he?
just saying I'd do anything for him.
Oh, okay. Let's stop being thirsty, Sean. Thank
Are
you
we
so
done
much
yet?
to our show Shut up. You're the one that keeps going off. Our show sponsor, that's Talent Co Real Estate. Amy and her crew of wonderful folks are going to help you when it comes to selling or buying. And that's so important because it's stressful out there. And especially if you're a first time seller, even if you're not a first time seller, it's been so long for us that if we decided to sell our home, which might happen, I'm definitely going to call Amy because how do you do it the best, most efficient, easiest way? And you want to work with people who are experts, and they're your Northern Colorado real estate experts. This is what they're known for, and they get the job done. So even if you're just kind of starting to think about making a move, uh, definitely give them a call. Go to homeandnoco.com. That's homeandnoco.com. Sean, do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, if you don't wanna sell your house and you don't wanna move, then just call Amy to be friends because she's a cool person like that.
You're
And
not getting paid.
oh,
Thanks for listening.
okay, bye.